Much indeed for setting the scene there and talking to us about the only Pakistan supporters in the place. I can't believe that. There must be some others around. Oh, I found some in the box. Goodness sake. Well, Ramiz, you're an old neutral. We don't count you as a supporter, do we? Mushtaq Mohammed, how lovely to see you.
Thanks,
Very good
nice
form last
back,
night
yeah.
at the Taverners. Great to see you here.
Thank you. Lovely night.
And Sajid Sadiq, I love the name of your website, Sajid, Pakistan journalist, pakpassion.net, which says it all about Pakistan cricket followers, really, isn't it?
Absolutely right, Douglas. The passion's there. Unfortunately, the team aren't displaying that same sort of passion on the pitch.
But are they, though? I mean, they're trying their socks off, aren't they? One presumes. What do you think? We've got Ramiz, you've been watching this for years. They're trying, aren't they?
Well, they're simply not good enough because they've got a young team and obviously they're technically inefficient to cope with the conditions. Salman Butt is a young captain, is trying his level, but today I think they missed the trick. Overcast conditions and with a batting lineup that is mentally fragile, devastated by that devastation by England. Just not good enough on the day, and England bowled superbly. They're relentless. It's a different bowling attack when you compare it to Australia. Australia were not as consistent as England have been, and batting lineup has not shaped up once again the way Salman Butt wanted it.
You've been throughout the game in Pakistan, Ram. You've played, you've commentated, been administrator, chief executive.
Yeah.
Is it chaotic? I mean, it just sort of from outside, and it's very difficult to look at someone else's culture. We shouldn't look at someone else's culture and dismiss it as like, but it doesn't seem to be terribly organised, put it that way. I mean, is that a fair reflection of how Pakistan cricket is run?
Yes, I think historically Pakistani players have been allowed to be bigger than the game because fans love them, they hate them also. They would burn their effigies and all that, but they'd always be more than willing to pick them on their shoulders. But it's just that it lacks consistency. It lacks body. It lacks sensibility at times. And that stems from years of inept management. And because of that, the players have been allowed to become bigger than the game. And it was very, very difficult to rein them in. I mean, my tenure as someone who was part of the cricket board was almost impossible, for example, to talk sense to somebody like Shoaib Akhtar, for that matter, because he was treated like a god.
Yeah.
And really to ask him to do the stuff that the others were doing was gibberish to him.
But you're his boss.
Yes, absolutely, and someone who had played cricket. So I wasn't really overawed by the stature of the man, but it was difficult dealing with somebody like him. I'm just presenting you an example. Obviously, he's mended his ways, is now playing the game the way it should be played. But handling the players is a big issue. Then finding the talent is a big issue. We've got hodgepodge first-class system. I, in my regime, tried to get it right by sort of involving the players more at the regional level, trying to create that Lahore versus Karachi drama by creating regions. And somehow, after I left, the other managements have not been keen really to carry on with that. And so we've got, the professional departmental teams playing against the regional sides, and it's become hodgepodge once again.
Yeah. Well then, Mushi, come on, you've been playing there. Has it always been like this? Has Pakistani cricket always kind of sort of teetered on the edge? It's...
Yes, what happened yesterday, they'll follow that. And what Ramit said is exactly right. I experienced that during my playing days. And what Ramit was talking about, the player powers. There are a lot of player power which spoils the running of the cricket by the management. Management come under pressure from the higher authorities, and they come, and then the management goes down to coach, and ultimately it goes down to the selection committee and all this, and the right people didn't get selected.
Right.
And this is how it's been channeling through for a number of years. That's why Pakistan cricket has suffered the real organisation, because everybody who is running the show or got the job or running the board obviously is more conscious about his own seat, that he's got a job and he's got to continue. If his higher authorities ring him up and say, you got to do this, and you, if you don't obey that, then you're in trouble. Your job is on the sideline.
Must be terribly difficult to play under those circumstances, isn't it? I mean, did you find that when you were playing for Pakistan? You're sort of looking over your shoulder a bit, are you? Is wondering what's going on, or?
It wasn't all that bad. What has got now recently mean it's over. It's 5-6 years. It's got worse, and each time when we do have a captain, he always wanted his team. Well, all right. I think captain should have his choice in the side, and he should have his say who he wants in playing 11. But then obviously you got to consider the decisions of the senior players and also from the coach. They got to listen to him as well. And it's what I see in this present tour is lack of communication. Communication between the management, the coaches, the captain, and what instruction they're getting from the cricket board, God knows. So, one day somebody flying over a day before the test match and hoping to play. This is all like hodgepodge. Nobody is in right mind to make a decision, a correct decision. It was very simple this morning. It was so simple. Play cricket all your life is to read the condition. Why bat if you want the top? If you got a choice.
I must say, yes. Sajid, as a journalist following Pakistani cricket, I mean, it must be quite fun actually. I mean, it must be all sorts of things going on. But were you surprised by the Mohammad Yusuf story or not? And how did you report it?
To be honest with you, Agaz, I wasn't surprised at all, because there's a certain amount of panic in Pakistan cricket, and panic being the key word, that if something starts going wrong ever so slightly, there's this panic situation whereby, let's bring in those players that we've not selected at the start of the tour. It goes with the coaching situation, it goes with the personnel, it goes with the selectors as well. There seems to be no continuity at all. You've selected a squad, and I'm probably in the minority for this opinion, but in my opinion, if a squad had been selected without Mohammad Yusuf and Yunus Khan, then the youngsters should have been given a chance through the whole of the summer, and then you weigh up your options and see, okay, how have Umar Amin and Azhar Ali performed during the course of the summer. Then look at what's happened, what runs they've got, whether they are possible players for the future, and then look at Yunus Khan and Mohammad Yusuf. To bring in Yusuf halfway through the series, I know the last test match was a bit of a disaster, to say the least, but to bring Yusuf in at this stage, again, I might be in the minority for this opinion, but I wouldn't have brought him in at this stage of the tour.